All right, buckle up for a wild ride. We're diving straight into the action, ignoring the typical intros. A relentless Los Angeles night, and a city stained with bank robberies. Welcome to the den of thieves. 2,400 times a year, a bank is hit here. It's the bank robbery capital of the world. Our story ignites as hardened thieves, disguised and masked, stage a brutal ambush on a Leffer's armored truck outside an unassuming donut shop. Amidst the chaos and raining bullets, something doesn't smell right. This truck is empty. The robbers secure their prize and vanish, but the bloody scene they leave behind is a siren call for law enforcement. Now it's daytime, and we're introduced to Big Nick, a seasoned sheriff's detective who surveys the crime scene with his crew. He's as hardballed as they come and wastes no time diving deep into this latest heist. Back at headquarters, the team pulls up security footage and something catches Nick's eye. The robbers knew the route. He has some doubts about a connection with personnel linked to the casino and the feds, but as the investigation intensifies, he's determined to crack this case. Night falls, casting a shadowy glow over the criminal underworld. Deep in their lair, the thieves gather, tensions bubbling amidst the spoils of their deadly ambition. The empty truck. It's more than they bargained for, and paranoia begins to fester. As tensions rise, Nick steps in with some old-school interrogation tactics. One by one, he corners them, digging beneath the surface. One name crops up more than others. Ray Merriman, an ex-military criminal mastermind with a long history and a reputation for brutality. This could be the break that Big Nick has been searching for. Nick heads to Terminal Island's Federal Correctional Institute with his team to parley with Merriman, a high-profile inmate with a dark history, and a crew with a reputation stretching across the state in the dead of night. We're in the maximum security prison, with Ray and his enforcers. There is an old score to settle, and you're about to witness it. With Big Nick hot on his trail, a final confrontation looms, the ultimate test of intellect and will. That's it for this review, a gripping setup of Den of Thieves, packed with suspense, complex characters, and brutal action. Make sure you're prepared for what comes next. Like, subscribe, and be ready for our review of Part 2. All right, so we see Donnie gets out of prison and his girl is waiting for him. They're hugging, loving. Looks like he's glad to be out. But she's wearing his sunglasses. Then we cut to our detectives discussing Donnie, where he's from and who he knows. Carson at the Hawaiian dude's house. Now we see Donnie at this dude's house. Guys are boxing. Donnie gets out of a truck. 3 bodies, man, what's up with that? This does not look good. And they train outside the garage. And he is talking to 50 Cent here at the residence. Then it gets hot. Hawaiian dude is throwing a backyard barbecue and Donnie's hanging out, catching up with his people. They're drinking beers, eating food. Donnie's at the table, but 50 Cent comes over and asks where he's from, where he's been. He admits he just got out of prison. 50 wants to know if he can still drive. So here comes the music, and we are rolling. It's a black sports car and they're burning rubber. Donnie's shifting gears like he's supposed to. Then they're drifting through the city, Carmen, to a warehouse. They're gonna put some dye on the plates. Back at the detective's office, we have all the details. Hawaiian dude's name, all the players involved. Turns out he's from Oakland, wanted by the ATF, and served with Merriman at 29 Palms at the same time. This is all Carmen together. He's talking about that to a board, putting up pics, and getting to the bottom of what's happening. They need a hookup so they can rob a bank. They all have high-profile security. So he's making a meeting for his friend in there at another restaurant. It's coming together and coming to a head. All this is in California, and outside LA, cut back to Donnie and his chick she's getting glammed up. Looks like prom night, with a limo to get his daughter. This looks like a trap. He comes and he sees the big daddy, 50 Cent. He goes in with the family and they give him instructions before sending him out to drive a getaway truck. Cut back again to the headquarters where 50 is going over all of his crew's details. This is good, and they were discussing why he needs to bring so many people on the heist. He is showing the layout of what's going to happen in the building. Now, it's the layout of the bank. Is that what it is? Fed employees, 2 stories down, very secure. They need to take out the cameras and sensors somehow, and the bills are serialized, so what's the best strategy? An EMP? Okay. He said that's the best way. They can't get all those details now. Flashback to prison for the first time. They know each other at 29 Palms. Same time they're out to do what they need to, but now the detective looks at them like that. 50 is getting ready to leave, so it's all common to head now to where they go. And we get another look at his lady friends to get him and get these places down in and out. They go to what looks like a Korean barbecue spot, and there we have it. The bad guy is telling all his men, you go by and you take it for what it has. All right, so we find Berrigan stepping out of his house and going into a pickup truck where he receives a phone call. It's Merriman, his right-hand man, laying down some final instructions. They're about to hit the Pico Rivera savings and loan in Montebello, which, by the way, makes this heist a lot more dangerous since local law enforcement is going to have to be involved. The scene cuts over to his wife in the bathroom, looking nervous as she seems to be involved with the plan. But there's clearly a lot on her mind. Next, we're over at Berrigan's beach house, now changed into civilian clothes, and he is smoking a cigarette with his daughter. He's reflecting on how he got to where he is and where his career started, reflecting on his losses along the way. He's definitely having some second thoughts about what he's about to pull, but his mind is made up. Fast forward, and we see Alameda security forces pull into the underground bay. The new guards are checking paperwork. This seems routine enough, but what's about to go down is anything but. The security doors are opened, the truck moves up to the loading dock. This is it. It's time. Berrigan is about to prove he can handle even the most complicated heist. The robbers then burst into the bank and begin barking orders at the staff. Down on the ground. Everyone on the ground. The bank's a frenzy, but the leader remains calm, his commands slicing through the chaos like a hot knife. He demands small bills, used cash, knows how this works. He's got his men forcing people to the floor, hands in the air. That kind of tension keeps you glued to the screen. This isn't just a robbery. This is calculated, precise, brutal. The level of threat here is insane. The man with the skull mask on his face is definitely not messing around. Some of the gang get to work at the back, dealing with the bank manager. He is having some real reservations. But they will soon be going to the vault with him. Just do what I said, yells Skullface to the men with all the patrons. What's going on down in the vault? No nonsense types start moving the money to the front. But the police already have a bead on Berrigan. He gets the call, then pulls the plug on Alameda and goes straight to Code Brown. They have to pull the job. He walks away from his daughter, knowing this might be the last time he sees her. Now we see FBI Agent O'Brien arriving on scene. He is absolutely fuming that his investigation has been blown by the local boys. I mean, Berrigan does not care though. He made a play and then it went south. All right, so Berrigan is running point to the vault. A crew member blows the front of the vault with C4. Down go the doors. They're in. I wonder how long before there's a firefight. The team leader is so calculated. He has a plan for everything, and I'm very intrigued to find out if it works. This job has so many moving parts I cannot see the success here. The robbers are rounding up all the security and bank staff and sending them back down to the cafeteria. Back at the staging, now the team is getting kitted up with the right kind of gear. They're ready to get into that vault. This section is about to pop off, so let me get the popcorn started. Boom! The police then arrive on scene. What's going on here? They are ignoring the FBI lead on this. Parada with his side men jump out their rigs and start to take the area over. The FBI agent is livid. What the hell are you doing? The scene cuts back to the cafeteria, where they are being led away to some off-site location. Is someone going to turn at the final hour? Back at the bank, the robbers start collecting all the bags and loading up the truck with loot in the chamber. The local boys now prepare for the fight of their lives and gear up. They're about to breach the savings and loan. This could get hairy. Berrigan calls in Silverback and says they're ready to rock. Now he's looking at photos of his daughter. Does he have a change of heart? It's about to explode. A gas explosion in the bank. I wonder who flipped the switch. That's going to burn. Then all of a sudden the lights go down. It is getting real in here. It is getting extremely tense as to what comes next and who is left after this. Down in the sewer system, some type of emergency siren starts going off. This must be the signal or the indication that the breach is getting hot. Then here comes Berrigan to his truck. I'm starting to think Berrigan knew this was coming. He meets them out front, and it ends up with some serious words. Oh, his Lob and Bob is angry. That's what these cops are hearing from the dispatcher. All officers on the scene are to stand back and stay out of the savings and loan. It's under federal authority from here on out. It is going to be a hot one for the LAPD. At this point, the gang is inside of the savings and loan, gathering all their money from the vault, preparing to move to stage 2. Then, they set off a charge to let everyone know they're moving and that this bank is no longer under the local police jurisdiction. That vault explosion has these guys running around like crazy. This is about to pop off. The man in charge tells everyone to stay down as he is making his way to the extraction. The tension is really building with our friend's skull face as he marches on. That's what they want you to believe. The guy on the radio has a change of heart as his little girl says she needs to get back home soon. This story is getting even more interesting now. He gets a grip and gets his crew to follow him and not to give up. This movie is great. All right, folks, settle in as we dissect a pivotal chapter of Den of Thieves. We open with the crew meticulously maneuvering within the Alameda facility. The tension is palpable. You can almost feel the sweat on their brows as they navigate this complex heist. A seemingly casual conversation between one of our guys and the guards is fraught with unspoken meaning and serves as a clever diversionary tactic. Smooth criminal behavior at its finest. Our sanitation worker's routine is anything, but he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, expertly placing the marked containers into the garbage truck. No detail is too small for this team. The guards notice the inconsistencies in the container counts, sparking questions and doubts that could jeopardize the entire operation. Our players execute the ceiling drop in sync, expertly slipping into the network, ready to carry out their mission as armed police stand guard, none the wiser. A high-pressure shift follows, the tension ratcheting up as these criminals slip past watchful eyes. At a drop, the crew has an urgent meeting as security breaches are discussed. With meticulous coordination, they intercept the armored trucks and take a garbage truck out. This is their ticket out, a gamble to pull off this operation and escape the city without a trace. As they split up and assume new identities, we're left wondering, are they truly safe? This next scene is the heist and aftermath of the job. I felt the tension of this movie building up even more here. Now, moving to our next scene, we are now in the bar, where Big Nick comes to settle accounts. The setting is dim, full of shadows and whispers, the perfect backdrop for secrets to be revealed. As they hand the cash and IDs, they say the words horsepower is burned, which is supposed to mean it's over, but will it be enough? Is everyone truly out? This is exactly what the director wants us to be asking. Now, we're moving to the next sequence, where an officer takes the money on the bus, and a few more players that are supposed to have been burned up are in London. What went on here? The episode culminates in a climactic exchange where the truth is revealed